Good afternoon, students. Last class we have discussed some problems based on respective sides ratio of a triangle. In this class we can learn the properties of square, rectangle and cube, which are important. So basic things to solve some problems in physics. Okay, so now we are going to learn what is square. So a square is a polygon. A square is a polygon which is bounded by which is bounded by four sides, So you know that we know about a polygon, any closed plane figure. So any closed plane figure which is bounded by at least three sides is called a polygon. So in the square we have four sides. Square is a polygon which is bounded by four sides. Okay, students, now we are going to see the properties of the square. So we already came to know that it has four sides. So a polygon which is bounded by four sides and equal in lengths, four sides. So which are equal in lengths. Okay, students, now I want to draw the diagram of the square. So because we came to know what is the definition of a square, it is a polygon. It is a polygon which is bounded by four sides which are equal in lengths. All the sides have same length. So you can also call it is a regular, a four-sided regular polygon also you can call. So square you can also call a four-sided. So four-sided regular polygon also you can call. It is a four-sided regular polygon also you can call. So now we can see the properties of the square. Okay, students. So we are going to see the properties of the square. So first I am drawing a square here and I will write its properties. So and after that I will write its properties. See my dear students, so this is the square I am taking. So which has four sides, you know. This is a square which has four sides. So A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D is a square. So A, B, C, D is a square which has four sides in it. Okay, now the first property of the square, you see my dear students, all sides are equal. You can call here all sides are equal. So all the sides have equal lengths, means AB length is same as that of BC BC length is equal to CD, CD length is equal to AD. So this is the first point. And the second point, adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other. The adjacent side means side by nearest side. So these two sides are perpendicular to each other, and these two sides are also perpendicular. So that is, adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other. Adjacent sides are, so what will you write, students? Adjacent sides are perpendicular to, adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other. So means 90 degrees. So this is the second point. Now see the third point. So adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other, we have written. Now third point, perimeter of the square I want to write. So perimeter. Perimeter of the square. Perimeter is equal to, so perimeter means total boundary, that is AB, BC, CD, AD. So perimeter AB plus BC plus CD plus DA. So AB plus BC plus CD plus DA, that is equal to, all are identical in length, we are already taken. So that is 4 times length of each side, 4 times length of side, 4 times the length of side you write it, students. So, and if you consider each side length is A, if we consider each side length is A, then it will become 4 into A. So then this will become 4 into A, that is called perimeter. Okay students, what is the perimeter of the square we have seen. So next one, perimeter of the square is over. Next one, area of the square. So perimeter is completed. Next one is area of the square. Area of the square. Area means, what's the formula we know? Area means length into breadth. So length side, so length. So this is, its length is A, and here also A. So if you write A into A, you will get A square. Okay students. So area we got it. So next one, and so diagonals are here. If you the lines linking the opposite vertices is called diagonal. So the lines linking the opposite vertices. So the lines linking the opposite vertices is called a diagonal. So A DB is one diagonal, and AC is another diagonal. These diagonals bisect each other. So next point, so that is another point, diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other. These diagonals are bisecting. So see the meaning of diagonal, students. So diagonals bisect each other I have written. Bisect means this line, this diagonal divides this diagonal into 2 equal parts. Divides this diagonal into 2 equal parts. Means So let the intersecting point is okay O, then OA is same as that of OC. So diagonals bisect each other. So its meaning is bisecting each other means OA length is equal to OC, and similarly this diagonal divides this diagonal into two equal parts. So means OA is equal to OC, and this OA, OC, OB, OD having equal lengths. OA, OC, OB and OD having equal lengths. And another point in this one, diagonals bisect each other, and also so what is the next point you see, students? Diagonals bisect each other we have written, and also diagonals are perpendicular to each other, and also diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Diagonals are perpendicular to each other, and the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So the diagonals are perpendicular to each other means this diagonal is perpendicular to this diagonal. This is one diagonal, this is perpendicular to this diagonal means this angle 90, and now this is another diagonal, this diagonal is perpendicular to this one, so this angle will be 90, and this diagonal is perpendicular to this one, so this is also 90, and this diagonal is perpendicular to this one, this is also 90. Like the diagonals are bisecting each other, so means bisecting each other and they are perpendicular to each other. That is the point we got it. So now next one. And length of the diagonal. I want to find the length of the diagonal now. Okay, length of each diagonal. Length of diagonal. Length of diagonal is, so what are you writing is, you see students, length of the diagonal I want to write. So length of the diagonal is, so what is one diagonal? That is called dB. So one diagonal length is a dB, and which is same as that of another diagonal length AC. So that is you will get, so root 2 into A we get students. So here a square of each side is A. See my dear students, here I have taken a square and whose each side length is equal to A. Now length of the diagonal I want to find, that is either a dB or AC, and that is I have written root 2 into A. So how do we find, you see students, so for that length of the diagonal, so this point is D, you know, this is C. Okay, this is C, and this is, you know, B. So I'm taking D, C and B. Okay students, and here it is 90 degrees, you know. This angle is 90 degrees, and you know these two sides are equal, this side length and this side length are equal, so then this will become the hypotenuse. So it is a right angled, so you know students, it is a right angled hypotenuse triangle, you know. So right angled hypotenuse triangle. So if its length is A, its length is A, and from the properties of the triangle, so it will be root 2 into A. So dB length is equal to root 2 into A. Similarly, this length we know A units, and this length also we know A units, and we are saying it is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. This is A units and this is A units. So root 2 into A. Or you see, my dear students, this length you know A, this length you know A, this is 90 degrees already you know. So then this length will become root 2 into A. So its length you will get root 2 into A. So that is the length of each diagonal is equal to, you are getting how much, students? Root 2 into A. And already we know this is 90 degrees. Already we know this is 90 degrees. So we write this is 45 degrees, and we write this is also 45 degrees. Okay, so here this diagonal bisects the angle, means divides the angle into two equal parts. 45 degrees, 45 degrees. Here 45 degrees, and here also 45 degrees. Okay students, like this is 90, you know, this is 90, so these are 45 degrees. So 45, 45 and this is 90 you are getting. Okay students, so length of the diagonal we have finished. Next, half of the length of the diagonal. If this intersecting point if we call O, half of the length of the diagonal. So half of the length of diagonal, half of the length of half of the length of the diagonal, so that is either OD or either OD or OB, OD or OB, or that is OA or OC. OA or OC. So half of the length of the diagonal, because you know these two parts are equal in lengths, these two parts are equal and these two parts are also equal, and all these are all equal, because 45 degrees, 45 degrees, these two sides are equal. This is 90 degrees, you will get an isosceles triangle, right angle isosceles triangle you are getting. These two sides are equal, these two sides are equal, and these two sides are also equal, you know. So then half of the length of the diagonal, I want to find it, that half of the length of the diagonal OD is equal to, so total length, how much students? Root 2 into A by 2. So this I'll write root 2 into A by 2 I am writing root 2 into root 2 I am writing root 2 gets cancelled. So then half of the length of the diagonal I will get A by root 2. Okay students, these are the properties which are given in the square. Okay, so now we can go for a rectangle. Okay students, now rectangle. Rectangle is also a four-sided polygon. It has four sides, but all sides are not equal in lengths. So it is also a quadrilateral. If any polygon which has four sides is called a quadrilateral, you know that. So in that quadrilateral, all sides are equal. That is called regular polygon. We will give the name square. And it is a quadrilateral, but all sides are not equal. It is a polygon with four-sided. It is a polygon with four-sided means, so we have to give the name quadrilateral. In that quadrilateral, opposite sides are parallel and equal. So opposite sides are parallel and equal. Now we want to discuss the properties of the rectangle. Now we want to discuss the properties of the rectangle. See students, so I am taking a rectangle. So I am taking a four-sided irregular polygon. Four-sided irregular polygon I have taken. So four-sided irregular polygon. So four-sided irregular polygon I have taken, students. It is called the rectangle. Okay, give the name for this rectangle is A, B, C, D. So this A, B, C, D. So this A, B, C, D is a rectangle. Okay, students. Okay, now see its properties. The first property is opposite sides are parallel and equal. So AB opposite side is CD, which are parallel and equal, and opposite side to AD is BC, so which are also parallel and equal. So what we have to write here, see students, opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are parallel, and main important thing is equal. Opposite sides are parallel and equal. So means AB length is equal to CB length. That's why one small line on here and one small line on this line segment. Means these two are equal in length and these two are equal in length. If you take this AB length as L, if its side length is L, and if you take its side length is B, this side length is B. Okay, students, its length is L and its length is B. So next, the second point. So opposite sides are parallel and equal. We have written, students. So now the second point we are writing. See, that is what is the second point, students. So adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other. So like a square only, these adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other. So right here, adjacent sides are so perpendicular. Adjacent sides are, I am using the shortcut, adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other. So adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other. Means, so this angle, and these angles are equal. So these angles are equal. So adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other, we have written. Okay, and now the next one is perimeter. So next one is perimeter. So perimeter means you have to write perimeter is equal to AB. So perimeter means total boundary. AB, BC, CD, AD. So AB plus, so BC plus, what you write, students, CD plus, what you write, students, DA. So this is called a perimeter. So AB means its length is L, you know. So AB L, and BC means its length is B, you know, B, plus CD, C to D. Again, this length is equal to this length. So this is also L, you know, L plus B. So means we have L plus L, 2 L's, and B plus B, we have 2 B's. So this will become 2 into L plus B. So you are writing, so perimeter of the rectangle we have written. Next, area of the rectangle. So area, so I want to write the area of the rectangle. Area A is equal to, so simply length into breadth. So that is, we will write it as L into B. Area of the rectangle is equal to its length L into its breadth. So that's the formula. L into B, you got it. Okay, students. Now the next one is, so area we got it. So next one, diagonals. About the diagonals, we will be having the 3 points like a square only. So now we are going for the diagonals. Diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect. Diagonals bisect each other. So they are just bisecting each other, but not perpendicular to each other. In a square, diagonals are bisecting each other and perpendicular to each other. But here only diagonals are bisecting. We know very clearly what is diagonal. Diagonal is the lines linking the opposite corners. So means this is one corner and this is another corner. Opposite vertices. You join these two opposite vertices, will get one diagonal. And if we join these two opposite vertices, we will get another diagonal. So this is the another diagonal. So diagonals are, so what will happen? The diagonals are bisecting each other. Okay students, bisect each other means this diagonal divides this diagonal into equal parts. Means this length will be same as that of this length. Okay students. And next one, so next one, this is one diagonal, it is dividing these two parts. So means these, okay, these are also equal in diagonals just bisect each other. So means diagonals are bisecting each other, we can say. So these lengths are equal. So those lengths are equal. So means if the intersecting point if you call O, okay, so this OD length is same as that of OB, and similarly OC length is same as that of OA, you will get students. Okay, now diagonals bisect each other I have written. Now length of the diagonal I want to write. So length of the diagonal. So next point number 6. So what is that students? Length of the diagonal. So length of the diagonal, length of the diagonal of a rectangle. So I am taking, see students, this triangle I am taking the right angle triangle, that is right angle triangle DCB. So I am taking this DCB. We know this is the length of the rectangle. And this is the breadth of the rectangle, you know. Okay, and this point is D, this is called C, this is called B. Okay students, and adjacent sides are, what do we know? Adjacent sides are, these adjacent sides are perpendicular to each other. So this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees, its length is L, its length is B. So this side, this line segment length B, and this line segment length we know L. So we want the hypotenuse, that is called B. So that is called the diagonal, you know. So means then H is equal to, so H square is equal to side square plus side square, we will get L square plus B square. Then the H we will get what will get students? Root over L square plus B square. That is the length of the diagonal. So length of the diagonal means it will become the hypotenuse. So we'll get root over L square plus B square. That is the length of DB diagonal or AC diagonal. So whose length is equal to root over L square plus B square. Okay, now another point I want to write students. So that is half of the length of the diagonal. So next point I want half of the length of the diagonal. Half of the length of the diagonal. Half of the length of the diagonal. Half of the length of the diagonal I want to find. So total length is DB. Half of the length of the diagonal is OD. Half of the length of the diagonal is OD. That OD is equal to BD by 2. So either BD by 2 or AC by 2. So that is, what is its value? Root over L square plus B square by 2 is the half of the length of the diagonal. Okay students, now you see students, every square is a rectangle, but every rectangle is not a square. So we can remember that point also. All squares are rectangles, but rectangles are not squares. Okay, both are polygon, both are quadrilaterals, but square is a regular quadrilateral and this rectangle is an irregular quadrilateral because all lengths are not equal. Okay students, next we can see what is cube.